So my name's Ebarb. I'm an animal welfare activist. I'm also an animal welfare professional. I think about animals from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. On the left, you have my dog Casper, who I had since I was 6. He unfortunately passed away a few months ago. And on the right is a kid we saved from a high-kill shelter. So we're going to talk about some things that might be surprising. There's a lot more to animal welfare and animals than we may have ever thought. And so some of it might surprise you, and most of this is just to be informative and tell you about some of the things about animal welfare and animals in general that you may not know. So live long and prosper, kind of play off Star Wars. Animals can help us in so many ways, and that's really one thing we have advantage of. We can take advantage of is animals, and we don't look at them. They don't just roam your house. All 5 of these gentlemen were serial killers. I believe one was also a serial rapist. And before they ever touched a human, they abused animals. And that's my big argument for strengthening animal abuse laws, is essentially 56% of all violent offenders in prison harmed an animal before they ever touched a human. And that includes rapists, murderers, domestic assault, all of those things. And so if we can strengthen that, we can stop them from getting humans. On the other side, a happier side of the equation, dogs and cats play a huge role in decreasing depression and anxiety. They can be part of any kind of treatment plan, and essentially, for a lot of older people who may get depressed in older age, animals force them to get up in the day. It forces them to go to the grocery store and get food. It gives them something to do every day. I take care of an older gentleman who's about 80, and his dogs are the only reason he gets out of bed every morning. And so they can play a huge part in our life. You can see we have a therapy dog here. There are a lot of therapy dogs here locally that go through the hospitals, and there are so many studies that show the benefits of having therapy dogs in hospitals and in schools as well. We also have working dogs on the left. We have a canine dog working in the military. On the right, Ringwood, which is also in Caddo Parish. You have Officer Maverick, who's a black lab. I believe he's a drug sniffing dog, but he is a member of the Greenwood Police Department. So what do we do for dogs? Because we also help them. This is a dog that was in animal control in a local facility, the place where animals are supposed to be taken care of. And after a few months at shelter, you can see he was not well taken care of. Animal welfare locally has a very long way to go. And just as this dog, that's something that happens a lot every day, is we euthanize a lot of animals. And we pay $200 for every animal that enters the doors of Caddo Parish Animal Services. And so this wasn't a local shelter, this was at a shelter in the south. But we have moved forward. We have the gas chamber, which we used for up until just a few years ago. They shoved as many animals as they could in there. They start this loud engine, and they essentially gas them to death. And thankfully, we have outlawed that in Louisiana. We kill 21 animals every day in Caddo Parish. I believe the number this morning was just over 30, but I didn't have an exact one. It's to the tune of over 7,000 every single year. And most of them are due to lack of space. These aren't unhealthy animals. We're just lacking space. 4 of these dogs in the last month were euthanized. The puppy due to parvo, the pit bull on the bottom left due to aggression. The other 2, they just ran out of space. They had to go down. But it kind of puts a face to a very large number. 90% of intakes at the shelter come from low-income areas. So we have to start solving the problem. It's great to preach about it, and a lot of people do, but I like to actually do something about it. I don't like to just complain. So with that number, we have 90%. Right now, we are going door to door in, that's the Caddo Heights area. It's a low-income area, and we actually get shoes on the ground, and we go door to door, and we educate people, and we offer them spay-neuter services in this area where they can usually afford just to barely eat every day. And it's amazing what we see. On the cat side, we practice what's called trap, neuter, return. If you go out and you catch cats in location, and you take them to the shelter, you can see on the right side, more cats just move in and reproduce faster to fill in the blank space. It doesn't work, it's ineffective, it's expensive, it just doesn't work. So we have trap, neuter, return, where we get them fixed, we bring them back, and essentially you keep those cats from coming into the circle. You keep the colony size, and through attrition, death, and that sort of thing, eventually your numbers decrease. And this has been proven to work. At Caddo Parish Animal Services, dog intakes have gone down 3%, cat intakes have gone down 12%. So just from this year alone, we're making a huge difference with not a whole lot of effort. And so on the happy side, these are 4 dogs that were scheduled for euthanasia within 2 days, and we were able to save all of them. And so there, for every sad story, we also try and make a happy story, and we do everything we possibly can. Thank y'all so much.